In a complex situation that causes you suffering, drop everything you think in that moment, not away from that moment, in the very presence of that moment with all the appearances exactly as they are, simply minus your indulgence in the mental descriptions. Drop everything you think you know, but still stay present to the situation as it arises. And instead you shift your attention for that moment from story to presence. Everything you want, everything you seek, everything you struggle with, all of it for you shall be resolved in a single moment of pure recognition. And this you can demonstrate to yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. In fact, I prefer that you don't. So test this out. Take a scenario that you do not prefer. Some kind of conflict, perhaps in relationship. Notice how this is an act of your imagination. This scenario is an act, a product of your imagination, of your ability to project onto this natural awareness whatever you so choose to project or imagine. Imagination equals projection, at least in this context. And so now that you have this scenario in mind, something you do not prefer, something that you are challenged by, something that seems to cause you suffering, take 2 to 5 seconds. In other words, take a moment to drop everything you think you know and recognize this primordial clarity, this space-like, sky-like cognizance, which hears my voice with zero effort. Right there in those 2 to 5 seconds, your entire situation was resolved. Now you might then say, or the mind might object and say, well, that's wishful thinking. Sure, I can tune it out for a moment. But wouldn't that just be an avoidance for 2 to 5 seconds? After which I then claim that the problem has been resolved, whereas that situation still exists, and the moment I think of it, it causes me problems and suffering yet again. Valid objection. However, this is where I want you to understand the 2 to 5 second practice and the science of instant enlightenment or self-liberation more clearly. You did not avoid. You let it be exactly as it is. Now, one way to do this is to drop everything you think you know, but with practice of recognizing, having been introduced, having been initiated by yourself to the natural state, when you've had a few of those confirming, confidence-inspiring moments, that liberation is yours for the taking. In a complex situation that causes you suffering, to drop everything you think and recognize in that moment, not away from that moment, in the very presence of that moment with all the appearances exactly as they are, simply minus your indulgence in the mental descriptions, and drop everything you think you know, but still stay present to the situation as it arises. And instead you shift your attention for that moment from story to presence. The presence of what? The natural presence of a timeless, sentient beauty, a spontaneously present intelligence that is here right now, hearing my voice without effort. It cannot be denied. You cannot experience without it. It is always present, therefore, throughout each and every experience, no matter the shape it takes, no matter how long the problem appears to last. And when you shift your emphasis, that's all it is. It's a shifting of emphasis from what you think you know, you arrogant SOB, to the humility and innate purity present in this instinctual recognition of that which knows your present experience without effort. You're not avoiding anything. You're not replacing anything. You're not playing with words or labels. You're not changing it from bad to good. You're not doing an imaginative exercise, trying to attract something better to yourself. Enlightenment is not about that. That's a valid practice for its own purposes. But it is not the practice of enlightenment, and it does not lead you to ultimate liberation, which you do deserve and which you do secretly seek, whether you know this or not. After you have introduced yourself to a clear, lucid moment of primordial freedom, formlessness, definitionless being, referenceless awakeness, pure costless joy, humility, gratitude, all in one. You will see that that situation is now rendered absolutely pure.